Good day everyone, I am Dianico Fernandez and you gonna learn about the business cycle. So let me discuss first the microeconomics. It is the study of the aggregate economy as the larger whole, including its interaction with other economy. It's the big picture, unlike macroeconomics which investigates individual market. Microeconomics analyzes all firms, all consumers, in every part of it. In essence, microeconomics was created to measure the health of the economy and then guide and help economy reach optimum performance. In this video, we're gonna focus on reading economic indicators and measurement that help tell us the health of the economy. But there's one graph that shows it all, the business cycle. What is the business cycle? Is a vital concept in all commons in economic courses. Such we ask ourselves, what is the business cycle? What are the features? Briefly, the business cycle is the fluctuations in the economy in terms of output and growth. It measured by the changes in real GDP from one corner to the next. Trends in economic growth. The y-axis is the output, the x-axis is the time. The peak, recession, growth, trend, recovery, trough. In general, economic growth is a long-term upward growth trend, but in short run experiences fluctuation that produce a wave-like show. This picture is called the phases of business. So let us look business cycle in a more detail. Say we start at the peak of the growth rate in an economy. Peak is followed by the downtrend. In economy, when there is a declining GDP growth as recession, eventually this will hit a low point, known as a trough. Afterward, the economy will begin to recover and spend until once again it hits another peak. So business cycle continues. The expansion is characterized by economic growth that is caused from business and consumers' confidence. This is because when consumers are confident, they purchase now instead of later, because they know that they will have future income to make for the purchases. As a result, spending increases for both businesses and consumers, where employment is also increasing. Furthermore, investment is also high, and property and stock market prices is begin to rise. Overall, inflation pressures that will tend prices to begin to high. A peak is realized when the economy produces its maximum allowed output. This is where demand is exceeding supply and hits the economy begin to overheat and overspend with only one place to go downward. During recession, GDP growth rate begins to slow down. This is usually triggered by some sort of an event, such as financial crisis, with fear and panic replaces the previous consumer confidence. Aggregate demand begins to fall. As spending and also business profits, so consumers lose more jobs and unemployment begins to rise. Furthermore, prices and investment is also falling. Depression. The phase of depression, economic activity is its low. Wages, cost, prices are very low. There's a massive unemployment, leading to a fall in the aggregate income of the people. This brings down the purchasing power of the community. General demand falls faster than production. The piled up stock are sold and very high rates of discount, leading to heavy loss of the firms. But don't worry, because there's always a rainbow after the rain. A trough is the lowest point in the declining growth rate, where growth begins to cope confidence. must be restored for the economy to reincarnate the expansion, and this usually requires intervention from the government with monetary and fiscal policy to enter to the phase of recovery. The rising price of an asset, increased economic activity during a business cycle, resulting in growth in the gross domestic product, collection of all or a portion of the debt previously considered uncollectible, valuable materials remaining after processing, proceeds from the sale of an asset that represent depreciation that has already been taken, increase in output, employment, investment, aggregate demand, bank credits, wholesale and retail prices per capita output, and standard living. So just to summarize, during the expansion, people enjoyed with the prosperity and confidence in an economic situation, but on the other hand, a recession is this time of stress and frustration, especially for business earners and the unemployed. Depression. Price level falls. Production decreases. Unemployment increases. Purchasing power decreases. Demand falls. Productive activity slow down. Production falls. Stocks recovery. During depression, only consumer goods are purchased. Durable goods remain unsold. All durable goods either get consumed or become obsolete. Purchase of good again becomes necessary. Producers purchase these goods. Production is encouraged. Increased in employment, increase in demand for consumer goods, greater production of capital goods, encouragement to produce consumer as well productive goods, progress in both industries, fall employment. In recession, increased demand during boom brings it less efficient means of production. Money market also becomes costlier. Demand for loans pushes up interest rates. Quantity of investments begins to decrease. Cost of production goes up. Prices of commodities rise sharply. What causes recession? Decrease in spending by consumer due to lack of faith in the economy. Less consumption would mean decline in demand for products, which leads the manufacturers to cut down on production, which perpetuates the cycle due to limited spending, which leads to high levels of unemployment. Lower production would lead to job cuts. It is important to note that the biggest indicators in a business cycle are output, interest rates, wage rates, inflation, consumer spending, employment levels. So when you are in doubt, look to these to give you close to the level of economic growth. Theories of business cycle. Keynesian theory. Fluctuation in aggregate demand cause the economy to come to short-run equilibrium at levels that are different from the full employment rate of output. These fluctuations express themselves as to the observed business cycles. Real business cycle theory. Economic crises and fluctuations cannot stem from a monetary shock, only from an external shock such as an image. Politically based. The political business cycle is an alternative theory stating that when an administration of any EU is elected, it initially adopts a contractionary policy to reduce inflation and gain a reputation for economic competence. It then adopts an expansionary policy in the lead-up to the next election, hoping to achieve simultaneously low inflation and employment on election day. Need for controlling business cycles. Business cycle. Business cycle harm to business community. Business cycles create unemployment and poverty, hence the need to create stabilization through government intervention. And that is the business cycle. Thank you for watching.